There is nothing more frustrating than when you're trying to score big on the dartboard, you find yourself hitting a lot of 5s and 1s, and then especially when you start hitting that dreaded 26 score. So in this one, guys, I'm going to go over on how to eliminate 5s and 1s from your darts game. We're going to go over the reason why you are hitting a lot of 5s and 1s. We're going to go over 2 tips to help you stop hitting 5s and 1s. And then lastly, I'm going to show you guys a little practice game that you can play that I learned from Stephen Bunting that will help you eliminate those 5s and 1s. So stick around for that, guys. But first, if you're new to Bullshot Darts, please make sure you hit that subscribe button before you go. Drop the video a thumbs up and share it if you found it useful. So the first thing that we're going to go over is the cause of hitting these 5s and 1s. So there is a big difference between missing high and low versus left and right. If you're missing high and low, that's all about where you are releasing the dart. If you release the dart just a hair early, your dart is going to go a little bit higher. If you hold onto the dart a hair longer than normal, that is when it is going to come in on the lower end. So if you're having issues missing high or low, you need to work on your release point, and that will be a whole separate video. For this one, left and right, the cause is your backswing. Wherever your backswing goes, that is where you are going to throw forward. So if I'm holding my dart here and I bring my arm back just a hair off, or a hair not straight back, when I go forward, that is the direction that my dart is going to go. So if I bring it just a hair back to the left or right, that is where my follow through is going to go, and that is where you're going to find yourself hitting 5s and 1s. So the first tip that we're going to talk about here is going to help you tighten up your upper body, which is going to help you have a straight backswing, which will help you have a straight throw and a straight follow through. So I like to call this pointing with your elbow. It's not a literal point with your elbow, because if you are, you're going to be pointing up. It's just having intention with your arm and pointing at your target more mentally. And I have a whole video on this, so make sure you go check that one out too. I'll actually link it down in the comments. But here's me throwing kind of lazy. That's what my arm's going to look like. And if I bring my arm up kind of lazy, it's going to be kind of wobbly because this is all loose up here, and I'm going to have less consistency having a straight backswing. So this is lazy. If I have some intention and point with my elbow and push it forward like that, that is going to tighten up my upper body here, and that is going to help me keep my arm still, so when I bring it back, it will come back more straight, and then when I throw, it is going to help have a more straight throw and a straight follow through. So that is one thing that will help you eliminate those 5s and 1s. And the second thing we're going to talk about here is having a shorter backswing. You are going to be a lot more prone to have an inconsistent backswing if you have more movement going on. Now, if you hold your dart all the way out here, from here to here, there is so much room to make a mistake there. And like we talked about, the slightest mistake is going to force your arm to go possibly left or right on your throw. So this also comes down to feeling, because at the end of the day, you have to do what is comfortable for you. If it is most comfortable to have your arm way out here before you bring your backswing, by all means, do that if it feels comfortable, but you have to practice the consistency of it, and actually pointing with your elbow will help you have a straighter backswing. But I want you guys to experiment with having a shorter backswing, because the shorter your backswing, the less room there's going to be for mistakes on that backswing. So what I always say to do is, if you have an arm way out here, you don't want to change your elbow position, because that is where you feel comfortable, because that is where you've been throwing. So if you have your arm out here, all I want you to do is kind of set up normal and then just bring it back somewhere closer to your face, okay? I don't want you guys to change your elbow position, because once again, that is what you guys have developed in your throw. So if you have kind of a further, or if your hand's a little bit further out, start there, leave your elbow where it is, and just bring it back. Now you have a shorter backswing. So now when you throw, just bring it back a little bit, and then you go forward. So experiment with pointing with your elbow, as well as having a shorter backswing. Now lastly here, we are going to talk about a game that I learned from Stephen Bunting. He put up a video a little bit ago talking about his practice routines and stuff. And one of his practice routines that I thought was great was that what he did is he put a string right down the middle of the dartboard. So the string went straight from the middle to the double 20 down to the middle of the bullseye. Now, what this does is that, yes, of course, when you're throwing, you're aiming at the middle of the triple 20, but really, you're aiming at the target as a whole. Putting a string in the middle gives you a center point of your target to aim for. So what he does is that he says he keeps throwing at it and he tries to break the string. So he's trying to constantly hit that string eventually to the point that it breaks in the middle. So what I want you guys to also try, along with the tips we already went for, is try out this practice game of putting that string on there, because that's going to help you give an aim point in the center of your target that you're trying to hit, far away from the 5s and 1s. So that's it for this one, guys. We talked about the cause, some 2 tips, and a practice game that you can try. And that practice game is straight from Stephen Bunting, so give that a shot. That's it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one, and shoot well.